Alright, so I'm going to try to start something new today. My goal is to break down concepts that we talk about a lot in the guitar community into really easily digestible things, even if you are not super familiar with them. In today's lesson, I'm going to be breaking down the Nashville number system, why I think it's important, and a quick and easy way to apply it. Alright, so the Nashville number system. It's really simple. Basically, what you're doing is you're taking note names and converting those into numbers. So if I were playing in the key of C, for instance, we know that we have C, D, E, F, G, A, B. And then we repeat back at C, which is the octave. So those are the 8 notes, or 7 unique notes if you don't count C repeated at the octave, in the key of C. We would call that a C major scale. It's pretty simple. So the same thing applies when we are naming chords in the key of C. We would start at C, which is 1, D, which is 2, E, which is 3, F, which is 4, G, which is 5, A, which is 6, B, which is 7, and then repeating back at C, we would just call that 1 again. We wouldn't call that 8. So to apply this to the Nashville number system and why it's important, we want to know the numbers or the quality of the chords so we can translate it into multiple different keys if needed. Now, I find this really important when either recording or playing live. Say you're playing a song that you learned in the key of E, but then all of a sudden the band decides that they want to do it in the key of G. Maybe you've gotten a new lead singer, or you just decide to do it instrumental and it's more fun to play in the key of G or something like that. Well, if you don't know the chords very well and you're having to kind of scramble and think, it can be kind of difficult to do. But if you know the Nashville number system or the Roman numeral analysis, which is closely linked to this, then it's more easy to translate that across whatever key you may need to play in, whether that's E to G or G to C or whatever it may be. One of the most important things to know is that there are, of course, major chords and minor chords in every key. Today, I'm going to focus on major chords because I think that applies to most people and will be the most easy to understand if this is something that's new to you. So if we were going again with our example in the key of C, and we were to look at it as C being the 1 chord, D being the 2 chord, E being the 3 chord, F the 4, G the 5, A the 6, and B the 7, we want to know whether those chords are minor or major. Now, if you're applying this to a song, you can have things like major 2s and major 6s and minor 4s and different things like that. But again, for all intents and purposes, if the song is just a pretty straight ahead song and it's in a major key, say you're in the key of C major, the 1 chord is major, the 2 chord is minor, the 3 chord is minor, the 4 chord is major, the 5 is major, and the 6 is minor. Now the 7 is a diminished chord, but we're not going to worry too much about this because I don't think that's really important if you are brand new to this. I think you need to focus on the other 6 first. So simply, 1 is major, 4 is major, 5 is major, 2 is minor, 3 is minor, and 6 is minor. So if I were playing in the key of C, and again the chord shapes aren't super important for this, but I would basically have C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, and then again the B that we're not super worried about, but the B diminished, back to C major. So if I have a chord progression that's say 1, 4, and 5, which is a very common chord progression, in the key of C it would sound like this. So again, that's C, F, and G. Now, if I want to do this in the key of G instead of in the key of C, it helps to know the Roman numeral analysis. So it helps me to know, okay, I'm playing a 1, a 4, and a 5. Now, once I've figured that out, I can then take that to the key of G and I can look at it the same way. G is 1, A is 2, B is 3, C is 4, D is 5, and E minor or E is 6. So since I'm not worried about the 6th chord, I only need to know the 1, the 4, and the 5. So I said G is 1, C is 4, and D is 5. So now that chord progression sounds like this, which is really helpful. So I hope that gives you the basics of the Nashville number system, how to use it, how to apply it. It's super useful when needing to change keys and be able to transpose things on the fly. Now this gets more complicated as you get into jazz and more extended chords and things like that. But again, if you're brand new to this, that should be all that you need to know to get started using it. One way that I find is really helpful to learn this and also to learn the notes in different keys is go through, just write out all of the notes in any given key. Again, focusing on the 7 main notes. Start with major and then go to minor as needed, and to go and write out exactly what chord is what. And just internalizing that, writing it out, looking at it will help you to break it down. So I hope this lesson was helpful for you. If it was, give it a like, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Plan on doing a lot more of these, and if you want to see this concept and others expanded, please let me know down in the comments below. But that is all for this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.